Welcome to Flat Earth School. It is a school that is around us 24/7 since the beginning of existence. I am Mitchell from Australia, just a student like the rest of you guys in this beautiful Flat Earth School, learning every day, questioning things every day. I hope you are all happy and healthy, and hopefully we might even see a sunrise this morning. Who have we got in the chat? Fisher from Eden. How are you, mate? Good to see. Michael Khan, as always, one of my awesome patrons. It's me again. Obviously a troll. Can anyone please explain how the sun can move over flat Tardia without being affected by perspective? What is the sun? It's me again. Can you tell me? Is it a physical thing? If you're going to assign physical attributes to it. Tony Prez, how are you, mate? From Vancouver. AYMB, America. Blue Marble Science destroyed me, did he? Yeah, we're gonna go into that. Michael Khan again. Good to see you, Michael Khan. One of my very faithful patrons. Always in the live stream. Flat Earth Stigma, how are you? Says how many dirty jabs have you taken so far? AYMB. Yeah, it's Ryan S, how are you? Lincoln, how are you, mate? Another one of my awesome supporters, probably one of my biggest supporters, I'd say, financially. Lincoln, you are awesome. PJ Cookshank, good evening. Dusty Ryder, another awesome patron. Christian Seifert. Ryan S. Humboldt Life. How are you guys? Good to see you here. It is a very lovely morning here on the east coast of Australia. A couple of hours south of Sydney. Back at Kiama today, somewhere called the Little Blowhole. You're going to hear it in the background. There it goes, that thump. It is not thunder. It is what is called a blowhole. John Bernhards, how are you, mate? Obviously Sarah, how are you? People streaming in now. Awesome. Hopefully we might see a sunrise this morning. One of the reasons why I changed the live stream to a bit earlier now. Apologies if it clashes with people's schedules, especially here in Australia. It's a little bit earlier now. Queensland doesn't have daylight savings. Yes, time is only a concept, but I'd rather kind of get up a bit earlier and see the sunrises. Buddy One Roll says, hello, Mr. Sensible. We know you're watching. Yeah, he watches every day. He's a massive lover of Flat Earth School. They can't stay away. He lives in my comments. All the trolls. Look at my comments right now. They are all trolls. Yeah. What did Russian Vid say the other day? You know you're on the right track when you're copping so much flack. Yeah. When all the trolls are just gathering around. Yeah. Just waiting on your every video. Well, that was a good one. I hope you guys could see that. I'll just pan the camera over a little bit. This is the Little Blowhole. Whoa, there we go. So obviously it is a hole and it blows water through it. A blowhole. Oh, it's good fun when it's going off. There we go. Going to see that in the foreground for the rest of the stream. Good fun. I was thinking it wasn't going to be going off because it's reasonably small swell at the moment, but it's putting on a show for us today. Michael Khan says trolls prove flat earth. Well, they prove they are desperate. A geyser, yeah, you can call it a geyser. It's not really, it's not thermal. It's just run by the swell right here. The waves come through. It's got a little tunnel it goes through. It just pushes up through and spouts out like a blowhole of a whale or a dolphin or anything else that has a blowhole. Very entertaining. Gal Gotha, definitely not a troll in Ontario, Canada. Hey, how are you? Schumann TV, how are you, mate? Yeah, Dusty Ryder says anti-flat earther is just a nice way to say globe denier. Yeah. Anti-flat Earth, Jess Palmer. It is a beautiful view. Yeah, anti-flat earthers are definitely globe deniers. We call them anti-flat earthers because they just can't help it but just make arguments against us flat earthers. They don't make arguments for their globe Earth because they love to chuck it under the bus. People like Simon Dan, when he says you and your reference frames have been ruined, he's talking to globers. He's not talking to flat earthers. We don't have reference frames. We do not claim that the Earth has reference frames. The Earth is not moving. When things are leaving the claim to be moving Earth, that's when you would expect to see a drift, Coriolis effect. But no, Simon Dan says you and your reference frames have been ruined, globers. Yeah? Not proving that we do have a rotating Earth, because that would be what is required to show that the Earth is rotating, that we actually see Coriolis, yeah, an apparent drift when you're on a rotating reference frame. And I want to point out yet again that Coriolis is a totally man-made effect. It is never, ever observed in nature. There is no naturally occurring Coriolis. Peter Fellows, how are you? G'day. Andrew Dominic, how are you? Glad you guys can join me today on this beautiful morning at Flat Earth School. We're going to play... I'll call it a drinking game, but there's not going to be much drinking involved. It's, if anyone is familiar with the drinking game, Never Have I Ever. If you're not, I'll explain it a bit. So, Never Have I Ever is just a game that you have a drink in your hand at a party or around the table when you got nothing to do with a few friends. And you say things like, never have I ever lied. And obviously people like Mr. Sensible, who is a proven liar, he would take a drink because he has absolutely lied. Yeah, you get the game? So if you've never done that thing, you don't have to have a drink. If you have done that thing, you have a drink. And so that's what we're going to play today. We're going to play that game, but I'm going to rename it. Never has a glober ever. So grab your drinks, globers. Well, that's a good little blow from the blowhole there. Good spout. Grab your drink, globers, because this is going to be very sobering for you guys. And I challenge anyone, any glober that does take a drink, I challenge you guys to back up what I'm going to be asking you guys. It's going to be just a few simple questions that should have been done if you live on a globe. Yeah? They definitely should be done. You should be drinking every question, globers. All right, so let's get into the game. This is going to be a bit of fun. All right, so the first question. The first question is, well, it's not really a question. The first drinking game is, if you have done this, globers, take a drink. Be proud of yourselves and then back it up. Yeah? Okay. Never has a glober ever proven gravity. Anyone? Any glober taking a drink? No? Yeah. The first sobering moment. Never has a glober ever proven gravity to be a real thing. Now, most people would say, what is gravity? And let's do a bit of a screen share here. What is gravity?
University of Caltech. Einstein came up with the theory of general relativity 1915, the prototype of all modern gravitational theories. Its crucial ingredient involving a colossal intellectual jump is the concept of gravitation, not as a force, but as a manifestation of the curvature of space-time.
So if we're going to take anything out of that, we know that gravity absolutely is not a force. And you globers need it to be a force. You need it to be doing something. That was a good one. Hope you guys heard that. The Earth is angry at you, Globers. Yeah, they don't like you saying that there is gravity, that the gravity is a force. You're going to take a drink, Globers? Never has a Glober ever proven gravity. What is gravity? Well, it's certainly not a force. Let's continue the video.
The reason the bowling ball fall together is because they're not falling. They're standing still. There is no force acting on them at all.
Brian Cox, there is no force acting on them at all.
Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. Maybe that's... Now, literally, it's not a force.
George Musa, 2019. It is literally not a force.
Now, these kind of quotes from actual PhDs who actually study what these things are meant to be, yeah, they're telling people like Craig, fight the flat earth right here, fight the tight shirt, fight the wide girth, whatever you want to call him. Are you having a drink right now, Craig? Have you proven gravity? George Musa just there. PhD, astrophysicist George Musa, right there. Doesn't really matter what his title is. Editor for Scientific American. You want to hear that again, Craig? Did you forget? Because Craig keeps thinking that gravity might be a force, and it has been proven.
Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. Maybe that's... Now, literally, it's not a force.
George Musa, editor of Scientific American. Literally, it is not a force. It is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. And Globers, you can think of it as a force all you want. Yeah, you can think that you're looking at a physical Earth curvature when boats are going over it. It doesn't make it so. You can think of gravity being a force. Doesn't make it so. Yeah, have a little drink in vain, Globers. It has never been proven to be a force. It is, George Musa says, it is literally not a force. So how would we ever see gravity? Never has a Glober ever proven gravity.
George Musa, 2019. It is literally not a force. From Wikipedia, gravity is most accurately described by general theory of relativity, which describes gravity not as a force. From Universe Today, in general relativity, gravity is not a force. From physics.org, according to this theory, gravity is not a force. From Physics Info, from the Physics Hypertext book, gravity isn't.
Need I say more, Globe believers? Gravity has never been proven. Yeah? We're doing the drinking game. Never has a Glober ever. Take a drink if you have Globers. Never has a Glober ever proven gravity to be real. It is not a thing. It is not. You sometimes say it's an effect, sometimes say it's a cause. First you have to define the bloody thing. It's definitely not a force in any case. I've got a good video here from Brian's Logic. Please subscribe to Brian's Logic on YouTube. He's putting out some great work. He needs a lot more attention. He puts this into a really great perspective. I just want to play this little video.
Hey, the force of gravity cannot exist, and I'll explain why. Because objects weigh more in a vacuum than they do in air. So, as you rise, you're rising into a lower pressure all the time as you rise. Lower air pressure, that means you're rising closer to a vacuum. That means you have to be gaining weight as you rise and not losing it. Because the claim of a force of gravity is that you have the most weight on the ground that's given to you by this claimed force of gravity due to a mass attracting mass situation. And as you rise away from the earth, that you're actually losing weight because you're moving away from this gravitational force. But that can't happen, as we know objects weigh more in a vacuum. So when you see people claim to be jumping around on the moon and other things like that, know that that stuff is impossible and doesn't happen because objects weigh more in a vacuum, not less. Thank you. Hey.
So pretty much what Brian was saying there, I hope that was audible. So gravity, yeah, sometimes gravity is referred to as the weight of something. Yeah, I would say mass, but what is mass? It is an undefined term. That's another one. Never has a glober ever defined mass. Take a drink, globers, if you have, and then put it in the description. Show me. Send it. Put it in the put it in the comments. Never has a glober ever defined mass. Can you do it, globers? Take a drink and have a crack. Another sobering moment for you guys. It has never been defined. Yeah, it was probably a bit hard to understand on the iPad. Basically, what Brian's logic was saying. Subscribe to Brian's Logic on YouTube. Awesome YouTuber, putting out some great stuff. Basically, what Brian was saying is, down here at sea level, you jump on a scale and you might weigh something, yeah? And obviously, we have a gas pressure gradient because we are contained. So, jump up a mountain, go run up a tall mountain, go back on the scale. Do you weigh more or less, globers? You would weigh less. You would weigh more because there is less pressure. But on a globe with gravity, if gravity were a real thing, you would have to weigh more because you're getting further away from the center of the mass. Yeah, it's meant to be exponentially decreasing as you move away from the center of the mass. That is basically what Brian's logic was just saying. As you get further and further away, you're meant to be weighing more. Yeah, you say you go up into a vacuum, you're going to weigh even less and less and less. You get further away, obviously there is a gas pressure gradient. There is less gas pressure. You are going to jump on a scale and you're going to weigh more. How does that happen, globers? Just something to think about. PJCnet says, have any tests been done on weight in a vacuum? Well, obviously we can't achieve a vacuum. We're just achieving very low pressure. And obviously it's an unnatural situation to do anything in a vacuum. But yeah, when of going up a mountain, and you would weigh more because there is less gas pressure. But you would have to weigh less if you're getting away from the center of the gravity. And can I point out, if you think you have a center that gravity pulls everything to, you're gonna need half of that. The center of what? A globe? Yeah, you're gonna need half of that. So staying on gravity for a bit. Just one more thing about gravity. Has anyone Googled recently what gravity is? Is gravity a theory? Google it right now. Is gravity a theory? If you can, without leaving the stream. What is the first search result that comes up? The first search result that comes up when you Google, is gravity a theory, comes up with universal gravity is a theory, not a fact, regarding the natural law of attraction. This material should be approached with an open mind, studied carefully and critically considered. The universal theory of gravity is often taught in schools as fact, when in fact it is not even a good theory. Now that is a satirical article and it is hilarious, but that is literally the first search result for when you type in, is gravity a theory? That is the first thing that they want you to see. A satirical article detailing that gravity is not a fact. It is just a theory. And obviously it is not a scientific theory. Apologies guys, the reception is pretty good here, but I am back. The reception cut out a little bit there. Obviously a touchy subject for the globe. Don't talk about gravity too much. Very good reception. Look at this beautiful sunrise here. Isn't it magnificent when you've got clouds? Yeah. I'm not allowed to do a live stream today. I know, yeah, you guys would be buffering. Really sucks. Good to see you guys are still here. 15 of you. Thank you for sticking around. Trying to go up the hill a little bit to get better reception. It actually was really good reception there. Apologies, guys. That sucks. Alright, see if it's a bit better up the hill here. See if I'm allowed to do a live stream from here. Yeah, just Palmer. Sorry. That was all at my end. Had to restart the phone, see if any better reception comes through. Yep, Isaac, we're on. Thank you for sticking around. You awesome people. Back on. Adam Meakin, how are you, mate? Hope you still stick it around. Well, it's going to be a good stream. PJCnet says, yeah, just waiting on Mitch to try and get good reception. Daly Jacobson says they've been messing with his local internet for a month. Yeah, it really sucks. I have full bars here, 4G. Adam Meakin says he's been emu hunting with a bow. Adam, I hope. If you have been hunting emus before, you'd know that the emus actually hunt you, especially when it's either mating season or they have babies, which is a large part of the year. All right, Schumann TV says your ear is good. Okay, I might just chill with you guys in the chat today. I think I'll do my drinking game tomorrow when I got what I thought it was meant to be good reception here. I got full bars. They're messing with the internet for some reason. I'll do that stream tomorrow. The drinking game never has a Glober ever. Sobering moments for Globe believers. I'll just chill with you guys in the chat today. JJ1X says, what about Brian Fox? Brian Cox and his Wizard Club. Oops, I mean Roll Society fellows, yeah. Dusty Rider says, emus look like kiwis, just much bigger. And they're much more dangerous. Yeah, Mojo Shop says, FE school is not dismissed yet. Especially because the round is 24/7 since the beginning of existence. But this stream right here, no, you guys have not been dismissed yet. Stick around. Hopefully we can stick with a good internet connection. We'll see. Yeah, it really sucks. Adam says, that's the odd thing, Dusty Rider. I grew up with rod hull, emu, and grot bags. Brain fog. That's alright, Adam. Happens to the best of us. Everyone makes mistakes. That was another thing that I was going to go over today. Never has a Glober ever admitted they make a mistake. Dusty Rider says, tell Adam about the cassowary. Yeah, Google a cassowary, Adam Meakin. Cassowaries are tremendously frightening. They've got this foot that is just designed to kill. They've got a really, really strong kick. They're like an emu, but probably even more deadly because they actually go after you and chase you, and they won't give up. There was a video going around on social media earlier in the week of a cassowary just attacking a car just on the side of the road. It was just going at this car, and people obviously pulled up and having a video, having a good giggle about it. But you wouldn't be giggling if you were out there with the cassowary. They are frightening. Yeah, Dusty Rider says that cassowaries can disembowel you. Yeah, you should Google what their foot looks like. Yeah, and the kicks that they can give. Kind of think of, you know, that shrimp, that little tiny shrimp that has those claws that can have lightning fast strikes. Like, that's a little shrimp, and they can break people's fingers. Imagine a cassowary Yeah, as big, just about as big as an emu. That has lightning fast strike like that. But it's got like a spear on the end of its foot. Yeah. Terrifying. Michael Kahn says he saw a picture of a kangaroo with muscles like Arnie. Yeah, I don't know if those. Yeah, that'll be a red kangaroo. Michael Kahn. I'm yet to see one. They don't usually live on the east coast. They're more in the middle of Australia, in the outback. And they're huge. Like kangaroos are pretty big. They get bigger than a human man. But red kangaroos, yeah, they look muscly. You see one. I haven't seen one in real life, but yeah, the pictures and the videos of them, they are muscly. And they're huge. They get way over 2 meters tall. Very powerful creatures here in Australia. Yeah, unfortunately the stream was buffering. Just chilling with you guys in the chat now. I'll do my stream about Never Has a Globe Ever tomorrow. It's kind of ruined at the moment. Those goddamn satellites not doing their job again. Anyway, we're back right here now. How is everyone? Hope everyone is happy and healthy. Flat smack bot biblical says cassowary is a distant relative of the T-Rex. Don't go into dinosaurs. Don't get me started on dinosaurs. Why was the notion of the dinosaur around before the first fossil was found? That's all I'm going to say. Buddy Roll 1 says Globe Believers got it straight out of a Rockefeller book. Yep. Bree says, are they raptors? Yeah, hopefully the stream's working all right now. PJCnet says cassowaries are known as the most dangerous bird in the world. Loads of attack videos online, yeah. Jerry Snoke says, can I explain the ether? No, Jerry, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't claim that we have an ether, so I'm not going to be willing to explain something that I don't think exists. It may exist, I haven't seen enough proof to support it, I guess. JJ1X says southern hemisphere star rotations. Is that a claim that a hemisphere, the claim of sphere, you're going to need an R value for that, a radius? Don't think that's ever been achieved. That would have been another question. Never has a globe ever proven the radius of the Earth. Dusty Rider says he swiped a big red kangaroo once. It left the Qantas logo on the side of his car as it hopped away. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know what the Qantas logo is, look up Qantas. It's an acronym for something that I'm not going to repeat at the moment because I'm not promoting that airline, making you have a double jab and wear masks. I'm not promoting any airlines, actually. We're just discussing what's going on here in Australia if you want to be travelling. Can I see the Big Dipper from Australia? Don't know. Haven't really for the Big Dipper. Haven't looked it up either. PJCnet says dinosaurs, they are pushed so hard by the narrative so you know it's fake. Yeah, that's a good that's a good litmus test, isn't it? Usually if you see it pushed on TV, have kids shows about it, have cartoons and make it really glamorous, you know it's been, if it's pushed really hard, it's for a reason. Buddy One Roll says, what does a dinosaur and a globe have in common? They're both CGI. Nice. Jess Palmer says, yeah, the stream's working great now that I'm not pissing off Gravity. Yeah, Gravity didn't like me talking about it. Anyway, it's still beautiful scenery here. I might even go back down to, you can see the spray down there of the little blowhole here at Kaima. PJC Net says he's open-minded to ether. Not sure what is actually up there, but it's not space as officially portrayed. Yeah, it's definitely not space, is it? Don't know about ether. But there's definitely not a sky vacuum above our heads, is there? Never has a globe ever proven space to exist. Have a drink if you have, globers. Have you proven space to exist? That was the game I was going to be playing today. Never have I ever. If anyone knows what it's about, I made the example of just sitting around a table with some mates, having some shots, having some drinks, and you ask questions like, never have I ever lied. And obviously people like Mr. Sensible, who is a proven known liar, he would take a drink because he absolutely lies every opportunity he gets. That is the drinking game, never have I ever. I was going to be playing that here today with the Globers, and it was going to be very sobering. I was going to be asking the Globers, I was going to be just going through a few statements, never has a Glober ever. So the first one was, I don't want to, at the risk that gravity will cut me off again, I'll go forward with it and just say, never has a Glober ever proven gravity. That was the first topic, and then the stream kept cutting out, so now we're just chilling. They were going to be a list of very sobering statements for the globe, not for flat Earth. We don't need gravity to exist. Michael Kahn says, do you want me to go debt collecting, Mitch? Is that for Mr. Sensible's £100 that he owes me? Yeah, he is a proven liar. Imagine the type of person you have to be to first seek out somebody who you know is struggling, who you know has a family to feed, who you know who is unemployed at the moment, to seek that person out and to say, I know that you're unemployed. I kind of feel sorry for you and I want to help you out. Yeah, that's how it started off with Mr. Sensible, seeking out me, saying, Mitch, I want to help you out. You're unemployed. I've got a challenge for you. I'll give you £100 if you do this challenge. No strings attached, no questions asked, £100 straight into your PayPal. I completed the challenge. Have I been paid? Of course I haven't. No surprise to many people here in this stream. Oh, Mr. Sensible's here in the chat. He says tonight at 9 o'clock he proves Mitch lied twice. Here we go. The proven liar is in my stream saying that I lied. The classic turning the victim into the aggressor here. So now I'm the victim. I'm the aggressor here, and Mr. Sensible's the poor victim. He's saying that I've lied. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Sensible. Hey, what's that thing you said that's really embarrassing? Was it, at best, all you've done is disproved the radius of the Earth? Yeah, you keep chanting it, Mr. Sensible. At best, all you've done is disprove the radius of the Earth. Did you? Is that something I'm lying about too? Did you not say that, Mr. Sensible? Look at him. He can't help but come into my stream, come into my comments, make videos about me. He just can't help it, can he? He just has to always be here. Ah, how embarrassing for you, Mr. Sensible. Have I lied about you saying this, Mr. Sensible?
You would have disproved.
I'll go back to the start.
At best, you would have disproved the radius of the Earth.
There we go. At best, all we've done is disprove the radius of the Earth, the thing that you need most to prove your globe. If you think you have a globe belief, you need a radius. And at best, all we've done is disprove the radius of the Earth. How embarrassing if you're a globe believer and you've said something like that. That is a true anti-flat Earth statement right there. Because you just chucking your globe right under the bus. Just to go against a flat Earth argument. Mr. Sensible says you're going to need Polaris for that, Mitch. Oh, yeah. Why are we going to need Polaris, Mr. Sensible? What's Polaris got to do with the radius of your Earth? What's it got to do with this clip?
At best, you would have disproved the radius of the Earth.
Keep chanting it, Mr. Sensible. You're a proven liar. You're a scumbag. You're an absolute crook. Reneged on our deal. reneged on the offer of £100 to me. You start off with saying that, yeah, I know you're unemployed, Mitch. I want to help you out. But no, you don't want to help me out. There was never any intention of paying any money. Yaz Will Saw says, what about the sexton? Yeah, Mr. Sensible, I haven't seen a stream of you addressing anything to do with the sexton. The #1 flat earth proof. You'd think that would be really triggering for globe believers. Some people have had a go at it. Blue Marble Science, I was going to go through it a bit today. Bob, the pseudoscience guy. Mr. Sensible, you want to take on the sexton? Here we go. He's still Mr. Sensible's in the chat, still chanting that I'm the liar. Yeah, that I'm the aggressor. That he's the victim. Typical aggressor behaviour. Turn the victim into the aggressor. They're the one that's lying. Oh yes, I definitely have addressed. GPS says, Mitchell from Australia, you haven't addressed how GPS works. Oh yeah. I definitely have. Let's go through it again. I've got a good video from Jesse Kozlowski. Here we go.
So here's the thing I wanted to explain. GPS operates in a 3D Cartesian coordinate system. It is not latitude and longitude. That latitude and longitude comes from a conversion from that box style system. That's the native coordinates coming out of a GPS system. Here's the thing I wanted to explain. GPS operates in a 3D Cartesian coordinate system.
This is Jesse Kozlowski, the surveyor, detailing how GPS works in a Cartesian coordinate system. Look at this. Flat line for the X, flat line for the Y, flat line for the Z. You need straight, flat, level lines, yeah? To make the cube, the box system. How does that work on a globe, you may ask? It doesn't. Look, try and put a square, a cube on a globe, and then try and make them line up with each other like this, like boxes. Does not work on a globe. GPS says I will not address how those coordinates are figured out. Are you getting away from the fact that you have cubes, boxes, Cartesian coordinates, X, Y, Z coordinates that all have to line up? How does this happen on a globe? Can you put cubes next to each other and they all line up? Cubes with straight lines for edges. Do they all line up on a globe? Absolutely not. Dutch Sailor says, this is the classroom, right? Yep, you're looking out at the beautiful classroom. This is the Flat Earth School, all around us since the beginning of existence. Beautiful, beautiful Flat Earth School. Adam Meakin says, is there an R-axis in the Cartesian coordinate system? Definitely not, Adam. There is definitely not an R-axis, the zenith. It is definitely not a line going straight down to the center of a presupposed spherical Earth. Because what are you going to need if you claim that thing, that the spherical Earth? Wally, what are we going to need?
But you're going to need half of that.
Thanks, Wally. We're going to need half of that. But obviously Mr. Sensible didn't get the memo. Because what's he done and gone and done?
At best, you would have disproved the radius of the Earth.
Yeah, this is really awkward for you, you globers. You need an R value, you need the radius of the Earth to claim anything to do with a globe. And Mr. Sensible's just detailed it right there. At best, all we've done, after looking at the black swan, all we've done is disprove the radius of the Earth. Dutch Sailor says, Mitchell, you know I love your work. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. I want to shout out my patrons because they appreciate my work, and I really appreciate them. So I want to shout out my patrons. Who have we got here? Mokai Bahapu, Emmanuel Carducci, Ryan Williams, David Weiss, DRTRH, Victor Garcia, Dale Bourne, John Furr, Dusty Ryder, who's in the chat, Globe Clee T, Tristan Trickers, Will Brax, Ronald Jurek, BMLSB69, John Swartz, Brian Leakey, Alec One Show, Malcolm Foster, Angie S, Dawn Judds, and Paul on the Plane. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being my patrons. If you do like my work, if you do want to support what I'm doing here, please sign up to Patron. Super chat, smash the super chat. Really appreciate it. Russian Vid said there's a little thing that you can put on the videos after the fact, that it's kind of like a super chat, but for all videos. So it doesn't have to be live, and people can donate. I'm still trying to work that out. But yeah, if you do like my stuff, become a patron. Smash the super chat. I'm working on a PayPal link. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Hope everyone is happy and healthy here today, looking at this beautiful flat earth school. And it is beautiful. Look at this, look around us. Does anything present itself as curved? Does anything present itself as rotating? No. We are definitely not moving. There is definitely no curve out to the horizon. Oh, Mr. Sensible's still here. Oh, okay, he wants me to go through. I'll just want to put one of these up. Hey, Mr. Sensible, let's play a drinking game. Have a nice Bailey's ready. Go and raid your wife's liqueur cupboard. Get a nice girly drink ready, mate. See if you can have a drink. Never has a glober ever seen the curvature of the Earth. Is this the curvature of the Earth, Mr. Sensible? From the Mage, whatever you want to call it. The begging the question of mission above globe Earth. Yeah, you're gonna need a radius for that, mate. Is this the curvature of the Earth? Have a good old swig if you think you've seen the curvature of the Earth, Mr. Sensible. Now let's hear from.
We're going into space. No.
Let's hear from Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was
I see it.
who was detailing Richard Branson's space tourism. Yeah, from. Let's go back to your little photo. So that's from about 38 kilometers up. Yeah, you think you can see curvature? This is from 86 kilometers up. Richard Branson's space tourism from 86 kilometers up. Almost double what Mr. Sensible thought he saw the curvature of the Earth at.
I see it not as, we're going into space. No, you're getting a nice view of the Earth. And I don't even know if you're going to see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
Are we going to see the curvature from Richard Branson's 86 kilometer up space tourism? What High Priest Neil deGrasse Tyson just say? He did some calculations, and we're thinking he's thinking and you're not. But Mr. Sensible thinks that he's seen the curvature from 37 kilometers up. Yeah? What an idiot. You must be, seriously, one of the worst, most deceptive, lying people that we've ever come across, Mr. Sensible. You think that this is Earth curve? Well, you still think it's Earth curve. You're going to need one thing for it, aren't you, Mr. Sensible? Wally, what are we going to need?
But you're going to need half of that.
Yep.
What's that, Wally?
We're going to need half of that, Wally. But what's Mr. Sensible gone and done and said?
At best, you would have disproved the radius of the Earth.
Mr. Sensible says, I'm welcome to debunk Madge. I've just done it, mate. Neil deGrasse Tyson has just done it. You did not see the curvature of the Earth from 37 kilometers up? Neil deGrasse Tyson even says it. Your High Priest.
I see it not as, we're going into space. No, you're getting a nice view of the Earth. And I don't even know if you're going to see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
And that's from 86 kilometers up, Mr. Sensible. Madge debunked. You are not seeing the curvature of the Earth. Debunked a couple of ways. Neil deGrasse Tyson just debunked it. If you think you are seeing curvature, you need an R value. And what happened after you saw this image of the black swan? What was that, Mr. Sensible? At best, all you've done is disproved the radius of the Earth. Now, it's people like Mr. Sensible that it's just so cringeworthy. Yeah, he comes here in my chat trying to derail the conversation, and what does he do? All he does is just give us great content to laugh at him. Yeah? What did you say after seeing this photo? After seeing the video of the black swan, Mr. Sensible? What was that thing that you keep saying?
At best, you would have disproved the radius.
That's what the black swan does. It forces the anti-flat earthers into absolutely destroying their own model. They absolutely know that they need an R value. They need a radius. But upon looking at the black swan, that is the response that we get. One of the best responses you could ever hope for. Yeah? What was the response?
At best, you would have disproved the radius.
Are you going to call me a liar and say you did not say that, Mr. Sensible? The proven liar, Mr. Sensible, who is still refusing to pay me £100 that I'm owed. You've got absolutely zero credibility, Mr. Sensible. You still owe me $100, £100, sorry. It's probably like $150 Australian. Yeah, you started off by saying that you know that I'm struggling, that I'm unemployed, that you want to help me out. Yeah, you started off sounding like maybe a good bloke. Huh? Are you a good bloke, Mr. Sensible? Are you trying to help out a struggling family? No, you're just playing with people. Just saying, oh look, I've got £100, come complete a challenge. And then upon completing the challenge, you call the person a liar. You haven't completed the challenge. I'm not going to pay you. I was just playing with you. What was that you said before, Mr. Sensible? You're not a gambling man. You only put challenges out that you know that people can't meet? Or is it just that you have no intention on ever paying anyone? You renege on every deal that you make. Was that another challenge that you just gave me to debunk Madge? The mission above globe Earth? Above globe Earth, is it? What are you going to need for a globe? You're going to need the R value. That is why the black swan is so devastating. Because it forces globe believers to not only throw their globe under the bus, throw the one thing that they need, the R value. It now forces them to say other things like this. This is the response to other globers. Let's hear it. Yep. Go back to the start.
Every single glober in here claims the Earth curvature is not the horizon. It's not Earth curvature. Nathan, this observation looks the same every single day. The weather has nothing to do with it.
And every time you see the horizon, you're actually seeing the geometric horizon.
You're not going to see the geometric horizon.
No one's claiming that we see physical geometry.
It's not a visual horizon. And every time you see the horizon, you're actually seeing the geometric horizon.
Our horizon is the one that you see.
And the geometric one is the one we don't see, because if we don't see it, it's not a horizon.
It's not a visual horizon, but it is.
So we don't see it, so it's not a horizon.
You are correct. We do not observe geometric horizon.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Changed by refraction. Do your eyes always tell geometric truth?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
The last question is no.
That is the response that we get from these globe believers, these anti-flat earthers, when they are shown the black swan. They don't have a physical geometric horizon. Some of them think they do. Then they flip-flop and say, oh no, it's not physical Earth curve anymore. It is actually refracted. Yeah? That's... well, that's a big problem. Because when you're using this thing here, the sextant, yeah? The number one flat Earth proof. What do you need when using the sextant? When trying to measure an angle to something, what do you need? That flat baseline there to have an angle, that vertex to get an angle there, that flat baseline has to be absolutely straight. Do we have a straight line to the horizon on a globe? Looking at the horizon, is it a straight line you are looking at? Well, let's hear from Dr. Bob.
It's a tool that measures angles from straight lines.
Yeah.
How'd you get a straight line for a sextant, considering you've got sphere-shaped hair?
I don't have one. I don't have one.
You don't have one? So where'd you get a straight line for a sextant on a globe?
I don't have one.
You don't have one? Where would you get a straight line, considering that there's always atmosphere for a sextant?
I don't have one.
So where'd you get a straight line for the sextant?
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
Correct.
It's a tool that measures angles from straight lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the conversation has gone now. From the Black Swan, they have said that because of atmosphere, we're not actually looking at the horizon. It is refracted. It is a bendy line from us, the observer, to the horizon. That thing there that used to be Earth curvature, that used to block the bottom of ships, that used to block things physically, it's now not even Earth curve. It's not a geometric horizon. It's not a physical edge to their globe. Because they know that we have seen way past the physical limitations of a globe with a radius of 39, 59 miles. That's what the Black Swan did. That's how devastating the Black Swan is. That is why now they're in the situation where we're talking about the #1 flat Earth proof, yeah? And it's got them all in a muddle. We're asking Dr. Bob, can we use this, the sextant, to look at the horizon to get a straight line to? And Dr. Bob says, no, we don't have a straight line to the horizon. Well, that's a big problem if you think you are using a sextant, because you need a straight line to get an angle. Absolutely, unequivocally, need that baseline to be absolutely straight from the observer to the horizon. That is the baseline. And then you're looking up to a celestial body, getting an angle off it. You can only use it if you've got a straight line. The only way it works. That is why it is the #1 flat Earth proof. Because then you can go on and you can do some measurements with the sextant, which I was going to go over today, which I have gone over in the past. And when you measure angles to these stars, you can form what is called an area of equal altitude. And that area of equal altitude has to be absolutely flat. Not only from you, the observer, to the horizon, has to be absolutely flat. You can keep extending that to the GP point of where the celestial body meets the Earth at a 90-degree angle. 90-degree angle being something in trigonometry, in geometry, a right angle is an angle of exactly 90 degrees, corresponding to a quarter turn. If a ray is placed so that its endpoint is on a line and adjacent angles are equal, then they are at right angles. Do you see any bendy lines here? No, a right angle needs two straight lines. So this is the celestial body, this is the GP, the geographical position of that celestial body, and this is what the observer sees, the horizon. From the observer point to the GP has to absolutely be straight. Something that is not achievable on a globe. Yeah, if you say that the atmosphere is refracting what you're seeing from here to here, the bendy line, you're never going to get an angle. #1. 90-degree angle. #2, you're never going to get an angle to the position of the star. Not possible on a globe Earth, only possible on a flat Earth. And these are multiple circles of equal altitude. This is why, another reason why, the sextant is the #1 flat Earth proof. Because it has been done. You can do it. It will be done. The entire known world has been proven, has been measured absolutely flat. These are all areas of equal altitude. You can make measurements to, make angles to different stars. This is a chart of all the emergency navigational stars on this map here. Another flat Earth map. This is why this sextant is the #1 flat Earth proof, and it has not been disputed. It has not been debunked. 2021 is the year of the sextant. It may well be 2022 be the year of the sextant too. It cannot be debunked. You absolutely need a straight line from the observer looking through the sextant at the horizon. That is the #1 thing you have to do. Straight line from the observer to the horizon. Number 2, make a 90-degree angle from the celestial body that you're looking at down to the GP point. 90-degree angle. That requires 2 straight lines. And the third straight line for triangulation, when looking through the sextant, you need to be looking at the celestial body. That's another straight line. 3 straight lines. Triangulation only works on a flat Earth. Thank you guys for hanging around. It was not a good stream at the start. Ended off strongly. I will go through the stream that I was going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow now. Never has a Glober ever. Get your drinks ready, Globers. Take a swig if you think you have done these things. It is going to be very sobering for you Globers. There's not going to be many drinks drunk. And if you do, you're lying to yourself and you need to back that up. Going to be good fun. All right, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful morning at Flat Earth School. If you feel like the world turns on you, turn to Flat Earth School. It is around us 24/7 since the beginning of existence. I'm Mitchell from Australia. Just a student like the rest of us, always learning, always questioning in this beautiful Flat Earth School around us. Until next time, stay happy and healthy. Much love to everyone. See you guys.